In this video, we're going to go over a jab punch, which is a front hand punch, how to use it, and certainly how to do it properly as well. We're going to start with a fist. Now, if you watched our reverse punch video, we talk in length about how to make a proper fist, but I would like to briefly just touch up on that. When I make a fist, I want my fingers to be in tight. I want my thumb to go over top my index finger and my middle finger. And I want to make sure that my wrist is roughly level with my arm. A little bit low is okay. I don't recommend anything looking like this. So once we have a good fist, we'll go ahead to the jab punching technique. I'll set my sparring stance and I'm going to perform a punch with my front hand, in other words a jab punch. Now, when I do this, I want to make sure that I'm leading with my two big knuckles. The technique will look like this. A very common mistake on this technique is for people that end up doing a hammer fist instead of a jab punch. Let's see if you can notice the difference for yourself. Here's a jab, I'm leading with my knuckles. Here's a hammer fist, I'm leading with the edge of my hand. Jab, hammer fist. Jab, hammer fist. On our jab, we want to lead with the knuckles. Now, I would say our primary target, if not only our only realistic target for a jab punch, is going to be to the face. It doesn't have the same strength, it doesn't have the same weight behind it that a kick would or that a reverse punch would. So we choose a target that is not quite as difficult to hit in terms of the recoil on our body, like the face. So a jab punch primary target is going to be the nose or the chin. For that reason, as we practice today, we're looking to do high punches, only face punches. I'm going to take my front hand, I'll shoot it straight out and pull back. Straight out and pull back. We'll go ahead and do a set of 10 on each side, everyone. Together on my count, we have a jab punch. So set your sparring stance, and here we go. Hana, two, set, net, toss it, yas it, ilgo, yiro, aho, yo, ha, and switch feet. Now, you may notice that I'm not actually keeping both my feet completely still. It's more common knowledge in Taekwondo that when we perform a technique like a reverse punch, we turn our back foot forward, but actually to generate power in a jab punch, I can turn my front foot inward. Just like that. This is fine as well as a jab. I don't have to move my feet, but if I'm looking to get power and distance on that jab punch, turn my foot in is a great way to practice that. Now, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing with that said, 10 reps on the other side. Jab punch, making sure we're leading with our knuckles. Here we go. Hana, two, set, net, toss it, yas it, ilgo, yiro, aho, yo. And go ahead and switch feet, everyone. We are going to do another jab punch based drill, but before that, I think it's worth mentioning that a jab punch is very often considered a fast punch in Taekwondo. This doesn't necessarily mean that it's moving faster than a reverse punch, but if my target is in front of me, the hand I'm using to do a jab punch, that is closer to my target. And for that reason, we think of it as a faster technique. It doesn't have the same power, the same weight behind it as a reverse punch, but it can very, very quickly reach to its target. Now, with that said, a jab punch is a technique often used in combination with a reverse punch called a 1-2. So here's what we've got next. 1, 2, jab, reverse. Front hand, back hand. The primary focus on this is being able to use both hands, one after the other smoothly. Once you've got that down, the footwork would be the next step. Inward, outward. Inward, outward. If you're just learning the punch, if you're still feeling out the fundamentals of it, feel free to work on just your hands now. But if you're looking to do something a little bit harder, if you're looking to really put that explosivity, that power into your punch, that inward, outward rocking motion is a great way to develop that. In either case, we are going to do sets of 5, everyone. A jab punch followed by a reverse punch, both aimed towards the face. The fast punch and the powerful punch, one right after the other. We're doing sets of 5 reps, everyone, on my count. Jab, reverse punch. Here we go. Hana, two, set, net, and one more. Toss it, ha, and switch feet. Same skill on the other side. The front hand, followed by the back hand. And one more tip for us, before we do this side, if you tend to have a sparring stance with your hands a little bit lower, I don't recommend that if you're about to punch. This, as a starting position for a punch, certainly makes a lot more sense than this. So if you tend to be the type of sparrer who has a lower set sparring stance in terms of your hands, if you're doing a punching drill, if you know you're about to punch, I recommend bringing those hands up so it's easier to connect that punch to your target. Now, with that said, 1, 2, jab punch, reverse punch, a set of 5. Here we go. Hana, ha, to, ha, set, ha, net, ha, toss it, ha, and relax. All right, everyone, that is the jab punch. It's considered a very fast punch because of its proximity to the target, and it makes a great setup, a great distraction, so to speak, for a more powerful punch, like a reverse punch to follow with. Now, it's not something we typically do in sparring, but in terms of self-defense, this is a great technique for us, so it's certainly one worth practicing, getting better at to improve your Taekwondo skills.